Hey, Natural Born Sistahs! Welcome to another episode of Kinky in the Kitchen, where every swirl, curl, coil, and wave is celebrated. You'll hear inspiring stories from women who have left straight hair, wigs, and weaves behind, despite the discrimination and bias, to reclaim their power by rocking their natural hair. Be it spiraled, kinky, defined, or straight. Whether you're already a natural sister or still finding the courage to unleash your beautiful coils, you're not alone, and you're in the right place. Let's get to know your host. She's passionate about inspiring Black women to rock their natural hair with confidence, teaching our Black natural hair-wearing women how to show up despite hair discrimination and biases. She's natural like you and rocks her kinks in the kitchen loud and proud. She's Lisa E., aka Natural Born Sistah.
What's up, Natural Born Sisters? It's your girl Lisa E., aka Natural Born Sistah, aka Living My Best Life. Welcome to the Kinky in the Kitchen podcast, the show that highlights Black women who are rocking their natural hair with confidence despite discrimination and bias. So sis, if you were tuned in to last week's show, you would know that I talked about the benefits of using water to your hair for purposes of combing and styling. But it was not a preference for me due to shrinkage, which resulted in little hairstyling options for me. Now, I don't have the longest of hair, so that was an issue with me. And the thought of putting water on my hair to style or comb just did not seem like the best solution for me as far as being able to style it the way I wanted to. And I did not want my hair to appear shorter than it was. So yeah, it's hard. At least for me it is. And I'm sure any other 4C sister can agree. I talked about styling alternatives that had a little more to offer, that were short, so that adding water to it didn't make it any difference because it was already short. But at the end of the day, using water is the best solution for detangling and styling. So use it if you can, or other alternatives that may work the same, such as product, right? So in today's show, I'm going to be talking about the story behind the t-shirt brand for Natural Born Sistah. Now, Natural Born Sistah was the reason the podcast Kinky in the Kitchen came along, to support the idea of embracing your natural hair while wearing these tees that display confidence. Why do they display confidence, you may ask? These tees are expressive, meaning the words displayed on your chest let the other person know before they say anything. You've already prepared for it. You've already accepted it. Now, these tees let people know that you love your hair, and no matter what you say about it, it's already too late, because I've already expressed my thoughts, my feelings about my own hair. And because you've accepted it in your own terms, hence the tagline, power for your natural hair, confidently voiced through our apparel. Again, power for your natural hair, confidently voiced through our apparel. You don't have to say a word. So in some instances, these tees can stop discrimination, racism, unwanted opinions in their tracks, and more when worn in public. Why? You always got some damn questions. Okay, why, right? Because you've already set the pace for your hair situation. It's like, say if someone comes up to you, right? You wearing the not approved tee, which is the one I'm going to talk about now. You wearing not approved, K-N-O-T. And they seen the shirt, right? They saw it. And they would question the fact if you should be wearing knots in your head or not, right? So who are they to ask questions? Bantu knots represent a part of our culture, or any type of knots you want to wear. Anything that's a knotted hairstyle. It doesn't even have to be Bantu knots. It could be knotted dreads. Anything that you can't comb, basically. Right? So they've been said to have originated centuries ago with the Zulu tribes in South and West Africa. When I read that, y'all, I was so impressed. I'm like super proud, of our culture. Right? And they carry substantial meaning in Black culture and are representative of Black pride. Now, why wouldn't Black women be proud to wear them? That's where the t-shirt name came from. Not approved, because your approval is not needed at this point. It has already been decided by a combination of me, myself, and the culture. So for the next tee, I would love to introduce, it's called Textured Queen. Now, this tee has become very popular amongst Kinky in the Kitchen guests, as I believe, due to the flexibility of this text, This tee brings it all together. It really says it all, as it does not matter what you do to your hair. It's not specific to a style. It's just your hair, which is laid over on top of a queen. There are two visuals for this specific style. The one created has a gold crown tilted on the top of the word textured. And the other one is a more cultural one and has a woman with kinky hair, wearing that same gold crown. So why do two variations of this? Here we go with the questions again. And I felt like asking those questions for you because people do have those questions, right? So let me answer that one. I felt like some women may not need the extra visual as they are confident enough to create their own visuals on top of their very own crown. That's one of them. Now for the second with the sister and the crown, I thought this will be a nice touch for those who like to have the visual along with the text to create it all from the tee. And just that some may prefer it over others. But I found the gold crown to be the most popular, and it's distinctly by age. Can you imagine that some of the younger sisters will prefer the image of the culture queen displayed with the gold crown on their tee? Now, the best thing about this tee is for all natural sisters. It's for all natural sisters. Even if you're not approved or whatever else we talk about today, this is for every single person. Not to say that other shirts are not for every single person, but in certain cases, they are preferences, right? So no texture is specified on this one as it's been created for every hair texture. It was important to identify this group of naturals in a tee so that there's less confusion and easy to wear. Okay, so we're going to go into the next one. So for our next tee, sis, this is my favorite. You may see me rock this one from time to time outside of my signature tee, which I will talk about later. Now this tee, the name of this one, the words that are on the tee, Kinky ASF, which of course we all know means kinky as fuck. Talking about describing the texture of hair on this one, yes. This definitely describes the texture of hair. And if you're kinky as fucking proud as hell, this is the one you will want to rock. And I'm telling you, I get so many compliments on this tee. It's amazing. And I believe because it's so real. It's so risque. It's just proof right in your face. There's no coming back from this one, sis. And guess what? I love it. And this is intended for the bold, not the shy. Because if someone makes a comment on it, you want to continue to stand proud and be bold just like that t-shirt. But say you're not bold, but you would like to be bold when it comes to your hair. You can rock this too. And just take it all in. After a while, you'll be fine with wearing this spicy, naughty, racy tee. That's my kinky as fuck. So let's move on to the next one. Now the next tee is from the Natural Born Sistah collection, and it's called Kinky is the New Straight. Now, this transitional inspired tee is the perfect introduction for a natural newbie. Now, although it's great for all natural sisters, it comes off as if you're experiencing kinkiness either for the first time or very early in your natural hair journey. Either way, no one's going to know which it is. Now, the purpose of these shirts is to get people to believe what you want them to believe. And whatever you want to reveal, you reveal. That's why the collection of tees are so important to the brand. You are not stuck to it. You can get them to believe what you want them to believe. Because at the end of the day, guess what? It's your hair. So for those who don't catch the twist in the name, it focuses on the fact that kinky hair is in. It used to be straight hair. Now it's all about the kinky that's getting all the clout. So if you want to be a part of this clique we call Team Kinky, then you better grab this tee. And if you look at this tee, of course, it has the brand colors of orange and black. And what is the coincidence? What is the coincidence here, right? I want to know what a coincidence it is. If you're familiar with the drama series, Orange is the New Black. And it most certainly is. Now, some ask me, Lisa, why do you have the color orange represented in your brand? Well, when I thought about a color, I wanted it to be something that would be remembered and that would pop. Now, I first said yellow, Because you know yellow is popping as far as color goes. It's not, for me, it's not a good looking color, but it's a popping color. But although bright like the sun, it didn't really pop for me for what purposes I wanted it for. So after doing a little research on other colors I thought would work for the brand, I came up with the orange. And in my research, it describes it as associated with meanings of warmth, joy, change, encouragement, freedom, and expression. And after reading this description, I did not think twice about using the color orange. This describes all that Natural Born Sistah is trying to do. We encourage change in helping you confidently embrace your natural hair. Now, you embracing your natural hair allows you the freedom and self-expression of being who you are, which can bring joy and warmth. Y'all hear me talking? Because I've never been so excited. I'm so excited about this episode. So I hope you're getting all of this because this brand means so much to me. I created this brand from scratch, my idea. So that's why it gives me pleasure to share this with you. Okay? So let's get back to the shirt. Now, once you embrace, you become the new original you. So it's an exciting time for you while you step into this journey. So wear kinky is the new straight to embrace the new you, or the you that's getting used to the new you. Okay? Now, the next T is loved by most as well. This one is called Natural by Nature. Now, if you are a big hip hop fan, like myself, you would know where the similarity came from. So this T allows you and the reader of the T to understand that your hair is the way it is because of nature. I can't just become natural. I am natural. And it's naturally a part of me. And basically, it says point blank, this is me, hate it or love it, right? So although the 3 words are very informative in what message you are bringing across, I love the simplicity of this T. Natural by Nature is a definite winner for all. Okay, so here's another T that was inspired by a Black TV show I love to watch. And I don't know if anybody else is familiar with this or love to watch, but I used to watch it in binges, like maybe 5 episodes at a time. And although when I created this, it never came to my mind as being a TV show called Say Yes to the Dress. So instead of using dress, I use the word tress as to describe the hair. So it's say yes to the tress because of the tresses your hair, right? It's the least popular of the entire line. However, I love its class. This is a classy Black TV show inspired type of tee. And as long as Natural Born Sistah lives, it will be a part of the collection until people truly catch on. Now, it deserves its own campaign to promote. So that it is understood why should it be part of the collection. Now, say yes to the tress is a bold adjective statement that tells the reader exactly what to do. Say yes. It tells you to say yes. So, all right. So this T eliminates the question, why do you wear your hair like that? Because you already said yes and already to your natural hair. You said yes. I'm going to wear it. You said yes. This is me. You said yes to avoid this question. Why? Now the reader will look at you quite foolishly to ask that question after seeing that T, unless they can't read. This T is super important to our culture. It tries to move others along with you without any back talk. Wear it. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see. So the next one. Now, I'm ready to go to my hometown where I was born with this one. Went to school and lived in BK most of my life. BK is also known as Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn is known to be the most popular borough of New York City as it relates to its culture. Now, Brooklyn is where you can find the best of the best when it comes to rappers and politics. You know, back in this day, it used to be a monocultural, I have problems with that word, Lord, a monocultural society where in specific cities, you would see the Black culture and the Black culture only for the most part. So let's put a percentage on it. Let's say 98%. Because I hate to say 100%. And somebody call me out and say, it wasn't all Black. Trust me, it was mostly Black. And if you were there, you would think that because that's all you would see. It was very random and very once in a blue moon, you may see a white person. So if you could see a white person in these neighborhoods, you would wonder if they've gotten lost or something, because now Brooklyn is recognized as the melting pot borough of New York. It's still a shock, but as time goes on, you get used to seeing white people walk the streets of Bed-Stuy, Fort Greene, Red Hook, and more without fear. Shit, black people knew where to go if they did not want to enter that kind of smoke. So they have made these neighborhoods so that everyone can go into them without fear. So my love for Brooklyn still exists. So when it came to thinking of the t-shirt for all my Brooklyn Massive to wear and enjoy, guess what? Brooklyn was it. And growing up in Brooklyn, hair was a big thing, although at the time it was not about natural hair. Now, Natural Born Sistah wants to reverse the culture to natural hair. The hair culture in Brooklyn was and still is amazing. And if you want to see different hair, this is where you want to go. From early childhood, I was impressed with the diverse hairstyles that came from many cultures, from the Jamaican culture to the American culture, all other cultures that I can't really think of off the top right now, but those are two that come to my mind, and different colors and different styles. Like, that was the thing that took Brooklyn to the next level in hair. So the culture made me do it. Okay. It was inspired by Brooklyn. The t-shirt that we see now as part of the Natural Born Sistah t-shirt line, infamously known as Brooklyn's Kinkiest. Now, this tee is the perfect design for Brooklyn culture. When I thought about this design and how I wanted to create it, I made sure it represented it in the way described here. First, I wanted to create a representation of the borough of Brooklyn. Of course, why not? I wanted to do that. So I did that by adding the infamous Brooklyn Bridge. Okay. Now, the Brooklyn Bridge is the most popular bridge in the borough. And I could even say the whole New York City, but there might be some closeness from other ones. There are some big names out there. But it's the most popular bridge because it's most visited by Brooklynites and tourists alike. And you would see crowds of people walk across that bridge to get to the borough of Manhattan. The young woman that saw on the tee represents how I wanted to change the hair game of Brooklyn, right? So because you see relaxers, wigs, and weaves, protective styles were the most popular. You would probably get weak if you saw a Brooklynite in natural hair form. So I went all out with this one. I made sure this young woman represented natural kinky hair in its rarest form as it pertains to the actual streets. Now, the two big puffs are ideal for Brooklynites. The design is original and belongs to the brand, as you will see this shirt nowhere else unless it's been copied. Now, it took time and I thought to bring it all together, and for that, I'm proud. And I hope you can identify with the culture to wear this tee, because it would make you a great candidate to rock it. Being from Brooklyn or not, look out for the black version of this tee sometime in 2023. So enough about Brooklyn, right? Let's get to the one that started it all. Although I saved the best for last, it's not the least to be last. So next in line is the signature tee that started it all, sis. When I first came up with this brand, I knew the t-shirt line that identified different facets of hair, and I needed that one tee to jumpstart it all and to give an option for those who are inspired by the brand to choose this tee when nothing else jumped out at them. So without further ado, I give you the t-shirt known as Natural Born Sistah with the logo. Now, this tee, although it comes with the brand logo, it identifies where it came from. It helps us to realize that being natural should have an identity so that it could become a household name so that everybody can go natural. Not everybody, but black women who want to go natural. Okay? Now, it identifies where it came from, and it gives it an identity to be recognized, especially for those who are in touch and familiar with the brand. Now, Natural Born Sistah teaches women how to show up natural, the way that we were born and identified in this community as sisters. Now, That's Sistahs with an AH at the end, in case you didn't know. I mean, I've been doing this podcast for some time, and I know my regular listeners may have gotten this by now, but for those who are listening for the first time, Sistahs is always with an AH at the end. Now, this sister identifies, for those who don't know, as being in the Black community, seeing how we always set the stage, how we show up, how we want to be represented. It's the same that I wanted to do for my brand and my signature tee. So you see, including the logo here was a definite identity move. Definitely. So that fans could get used to it and recognize it on sight. And the fact that it goes well with the design made it even a more doper move. So, Natural Born Sistah is all about how we show up around others. And when I say others, you got to know what I'm talking about here. Even ourselves. You know, we go through stigmatism, we go through racism, we go through discrimination. So it's how we show up around others. And despite the stigma from our own and discrimination and bias from others, right? This brand was based around the idea that we show up despite those things, as to instill bravery in every Black woman who wants to rock their natural hair in confidence. And also inspire others to take that joyous ride as well. I created every design on my own with my brain, thinking of creative thoughts that will make it comfortable for you to wear and express the way it needs to be expressed. It took valuable time that I would not change for anything. I am super proud, have so many other ideas waiting in the background for me to confirm, and I can't wait to release them. So check them out in my online store, and I will definitely put the link to the online store in the show notes, so you'll be able to find them there. Look, I've enjoyed our time together, going over my t-shirt products that go along with the brand and the Kinky in the Kitchen podcast. Know this, that each guest that interviews on the show will get to choose one of these t-shirts to their liking. And guess what? They'll get them for free. And they get the opportunity to explain why they chose the tee they chose. Women who interview as a guest on the show gain a sense of confidence, not only with the tee, but telling your story to others. It's like a release method that allows you to get it out and share things about your hair you may have never shared with anyone else before. It's like a tool to get you started. Now, past guests have had different attitudes about their hair after sharing their story. The confidence they gain is amazing. And we do live shows every now and then. I'm trying to do them every week so you can talk to women who have been on the show, told their story, how they felt after, and what difference was it before they did their story. Their attitudes have changed, and you can definitely see the differences after doing a show. Very positive differences. It's amazing what Kinky in the Kitchen does for our guests. And you too can gain confidence by telling your story. And if you're already confident, imagine what else this release can do for you. Think about it. Think about it. And if you're interested in being on the show, please reach out by emailing me, Lisa E, at this email address, naturalbornsistah@gmail.com. Again, don't forget, Sistah is with an AH. So it's SISTAH. I hope you got that. So go ahead and grab a tee that tells the world you're not afraid to be natural at Natural Born Sistah. I hope you enjoyed learning about the products and services to the NBS brand. And if there was something you really liked or even did not like, please share in the comments so that I may take note of the best items to share with you or not. And remember, we're bringing you kinky content in the kitchen every Wednesday on your favorite cast. And don't forget about YouTube on Thursdays. We drop. That's when we drop. And with that being said, be breezy. Peace.
That's all for today. What feelings are you left with? Do you have questions, thoughts? DM on IG at Natural Born Sistah and let's talk about it. Oh, and don't forget to leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. They really help us grow and reach more women who need company on their hair journey. We'll chat it up next week.